7:15. Apologize to everyone that's been waiting. We just got a quorum. This meeting is being broadcast live and it will be recorded for replay, so I need to ask if anybody is recording this meeting also. Who's not. Okay, the first item on the agenda was the 7 o'clock public hearing for the Markowitzes relative to 20 Jade Hill Road. It's for the installation of an in-ground pool. I had not seen the filing because I didn't get it in my packet, but anyways, is there a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Is someone here to address this? Come on up.
Who seconded that? Was it me?
I did.
Yeah, we'll give it to Chuck this time.
How are you?
Good, how are
You must be Jessica.
I am.
Well, we were here last year to discuss this, and because there's wetlands on our property, the area where we didn't have a date in mind when we wanted to put it in, we now do. We are looking at next spring.
Okay.
And the issue was where we had initially wanted to put it was kind of directly off the back corner of the garage, and it would have been right up against the wetlands on that end of the property. And you guys had mentioned at that time that you weren't opposed to it, but if we were willing to move it more towards
I remember that.
center of the
The
backyard,
swing set.
that you know it would be more doable. And that is what we're planning on doing. It's literally going to be, I don't know if you have the plot plan in front of you, but, okay. It literally is where the back bump out, that's our family room. And off of that back corner, it's literally gonna kind of, if you came out to the right, it's just gonna be right there, right directly behind the house.
Okay. And what are the dimensions on the pool?
We're looking at a 16 by 34.
Okay. Questions from the board?
So it's right at the intersection of that 50-foot buffer zone and the 100-foot buffer from the other wetland then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And you've sort of indicated it by a circle?
Yeah.
Yellow, yeah.
Yes,
highlight.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I highlighted some of them. I guess I must have missed those.
Oh, yeah, this one's highlighted. Hi, Louise.
Hi, Louise.
So, the excavated material from the pool, is that going to be taken off site?
Taken off site.
Taken off site,
Yep.
okay. And then what do you have? Do you have like a patio to be put around it?
Just,
Are you grassing it, or?
It's just gonna be probably 3 to 4 feet out from around the pool. We're not doing any sort of big patio around it because
Okay.
we already have a deck in the back and we have a sun deck on the side, so we don't really need an extra patio space. So, I mean, it's literally gonna be, you come out of our walkout basement, clear the garage, and we're hoping
right
to have
there.
the gate, like, excuse me, right there.
Right there, okay. And it's pretty flat there, right?
Yeah.
Where are you going to put it?
The sides of our house are where the grade is,
Yeah.
Right.
is tough. It's in the
Right.
back is fairly
Fairly flat, yep. Yeah, really, you can tell how steep it is on the sides from the...
Yeah, it's
from
for whatever reason, the sides are really horrific, but the front yard and then the backyard directly, it's a very gradual slope, nothing.
So is that, is
We're
the
on
house,
first hearing, Louise.
is that 18 feet from the edge of the wetland proper at the closest point?
This one here.
Where are you looking?
Well, it looks like at one side of the house, it's actually what the closest the house comes to the wetland flag line itself is 18 feet. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a measurement there. But that's not what their project is.
Right.
That's a fairly quick installation, isn't it?
They said the company that we're looking at, it's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Like a week and a half to 2 weeks.
And they do everything from site prep
Everything.
to the installation of the pool itself, right?
Yep.
I'm curious, how deep is the pool going to be?
I think just the deep end is the standard
6 feet?
6.5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? No?
No.
Any public comment? Do you have any other questions for us?
No, I think so.
All right. If there aren't any other questions,
Move to close.
okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Should I
So moved.
abstain since I wasn't here?
You can if you
I
want.
think I better abstain.
Okay. Is there a motion? Well,
Yeah, I would move, based on the applicant's representation, that the material that's going to be excavated will be removed from the site. And assuming that, the proper precautions are taken to make sure that no material is placed in the wetland, I would move that we issue a negative determination.
I'll second that.
okay. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Okay, we'll be sending you a determination of applicability. And basically what that says, is going to say is that as long as you conform to what you've represented to us today, you'll be all set.
Okay,
Okay?
great.
So she will get that out tomorrow? Okay.
So when we get to that point, we're looking at like April-ish of next year. Do I need an actual permit from the town or?
I think you'll have to get a building permit. You might want to ask Mr. Antinavica,
Okay,
the building commissioner.
Yes, you will.
okay.
Yeah.
And he'll confirm with you guys or?
Yes.
Yes, they're all,
They're all in the same
they all
office.
share space, so.
All right,
You'll get a determination of applicability from us, so that there'll be documentation that you've been here.
okay.
So then you just get a building permit from him. I don't know if there's anything else required, I don't think so.
I knew that there was some permit, I wasn't quite sure
Yeah, I think it's a building
if there was a
permit.
specific pool permit or,
It is a pool permit.
it is?
Oh,
Oh, okay. All right.
okay.
Thank you
Thanks
very
a lot.
much
Thank
with your decision.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Okay. The next item on the agenda was
Did
a
you wanna sign
7...
this?
Oh, yeah, why don't we sign that before we forget? Lose track of ourselves here. Okay, the next item on the agenda was a 7:10 public hearing on the request to amend an order of conditions for Stephen Gallo for Arboretum Village LLC.
Good evening, just for the record, Scott Morrison from Echo Tech. I'll set this up again here. I think we pretty much explained everything last week. We're proposing to move the house. The only thing I have is I've got a couple revised sets of plans.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that's changed is in the city of Worcester, they asked us to put curbing on both sides of the driveway. But I figured I'd pass that along to you so that both permits are referencing the same plan set.
Okay,
I've got a couple of sets I can do.
okay, great.
The other thing I did is also put together a quick cover letter. Gallo's still working with this property owner in the off chance that they can negotiate an agreement. So what I was recommending is that the amended order reference this. However, it gives us the ability, if necessary, if we can negotiate.
Sorry.
No problem. Ultimately, what we were proposing is to move the house, but as I said, we're still working to negotiate a land deal with the abutter to be able to leave the house as is. So what we'd recommend is that if the house, perhaps, if the off chance that they are able to negotiate a land swap and revise that lot line, that could remain as proposed in the original order. Otherwise, they've got to go and move it
Move it, right.
as shown on this plan underneath the sofa.
Now, do they have like a deadline on which they're gonna make a decision, either it's gonna stay or it's gonna move?
The last information they received from this property owner was essentially, you got to move the house,
Okay,
move it off the site. So we're getting all the permits in place so that when it comes time to it, that they can, if necessary, move the house. We're hoping, I think the hope is to be able to negotiate something, some type of land swap purchase or something to be able to allow that house to remain. But that's still in
So,
negotiations.
when we-
We'll let you know as soon as we
Okay.
receive word either way.
So we should probably, when we amend it, we should probably put some language in to amend it to include this unless.
That's what I
Okay.
requested in that cover letter.
Okay, oh, all right. Let's see a cover letter yet. Okay. Does anyone,
Couple sets.
does anybody have any questions? Thank you. This is such an unfortunate situation.
I know.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, I think it's a nightmare for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm. I just can't imagine.
So they're gonna have to build a new foundation, right?
The intent is they build a new foundation off this end of the house, jack it up and slide it over, and then demolish that portion, and then put new
Fill out.
concrete in the end. But that's why they're hoping that they can negotiate some deal.
How many feet are we talking about?
It's gonna move like
21 feet or something.
15 feet, 20 feet. We looked at all kinds of options of turning it, and I think the best method is to jack it up,
Slide it over.
slide it over. Hopefully they don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
Ouch.
amazing.
Yeah.
There's a big houses in there.
Any other questions from anybody? Any public comment? No. All right, I think we've talked to Scott a couple of times about this. I think everybody knows what it's all about, so is there a motion to close the hearing?
I wasn't present last meeting,
Okay,
so.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll second that.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I think I'll abstain.
Okay. All right, so, thank you.
Great, thank you very
I
much.
don't know if is there a decision now, or is there another motion to amend the order of conditions? or-
I'll make a motion to amend order of conditions as requested. The
Okay.
Removing of the house unless there's an agreement otherwise
Right,
in place.
I'll second that.
okay. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention?
Abstain.
Okay. So there's 4 votes in favor.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Good night, Scott.
Seems good.
Okay, the next hearing was at 7:15. This was for the town of Auburn relative to the Little League field at Franklin Park. Is there a motion to open this hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted. Does someone, okay, come on up, please. Good evening, gentlemen.
How are you?
Okay, how are you? Good. Do you want to run through the proposal for us?
Yeah. I'm Dave Nordman, the Auburn Little League president, and basically what we're doing, or proposing to do, is take out the infield grass between the bases, which is now sort of dangerous because over the years it's wavy, it's, ground
Warm.
balls, it's seen its better days. So basically we'll remove the grass, level it all,
Yep.
and resod it.
You're going to sod the infield.
Yes.
I read.
So basically, from these photos, basically, from between all the bases, all of that grass just gets removed. It gets leveled out, and we resod it so the infield is flat and safe for the kids. So it's as simple as there's a lot of lips and dips and crowns, and it's a dangerous field, so we're looking to make it safe by just leveling it and putting nice flat sod on there.
And you said in your paperwork here, you said that all of the work would be confined to the
Yeah, so
the baseball diamond
if you
itself.
look at the, there's an entrance through center field, there's a
Yep.
gate, so they would access through center field, and this is all enclosed by a fence, there's a windscreen, dugout, so all of the work will be done, removing the infield here. If you look at, this is the stream that runs behind, and this is all enclosed by a fence, so we're accessing the field here, removing this grass and replacing it. We're not even going on the other side of the fence area to do any work. So this grass here is being removed, flattened out, resodded.
It should be a pretty quick project though, shouldn't it?
2 days.
2 days?
In fact, we're hoping to start, well, we can still lay sod and be done pretty quickly. And sod is needed just so we play and we'll be ready for next spring, hopefully.
No, you, excuse me, you're gonna just regrade the whole area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna remove any material from the site?
Now, it would be, if we had to, because of the way it was explained to me from Rutland Nurseries, is you're gonna have to remove a little bit, so you're gonna have to bring in some clean loam in order to fasten the sod to it. So hopefully, as little as we can afford. I mean, the more they have to bring in, the more it's gonna cost us.
Sure.
So I mean, they're gonna do it just to make sure it's nice and level.
Okay.
And they're not going down that
2
far.
feet.
Yeah, they're just basically removing the grass, bringing in some fill, compacting it, and then rolling the new sod and making the new pitcher's mound.
Okay.
So it'll be hopefully nice and clean on the infield now.
They have regular sod cutters that just slice it anyways. It's all consistent.
And that way it'll be instant stabilization. We don't have to worry about erosion.
Exactly.
Yeah, there shouldn't be anything like that.
No.
So it's, and yeah, I mean, it's, unfortunately with the dirt-grass combination, I mean, it just, over the years, it just creates, the dirt goes on the grass.
Yep.
It gets underneath it and creates some mounds, so we're just trying to flatten and correct that.
Okay. Questions? No? Public comment?
Move to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Is there another motion?
I will move to issue a negative determination.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
Great, thank you.
Okay. We'll issue the decision and you'll be good to go.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in. Sheila, can you just pass around a signature page, please?
Good night. Yep.
Hello.
Grab one.
I apologize, the meeting went way over.
We just got a quorum like at 7:15, so.
Yeah, we just started. We got through the first one.
We're pretty much caught up with the agenda.
Yeah, more or less.
I was late too, Dan, so. You only missed 3 minutes. I skipped dessert, too.
How many sacrifices?
I was gonna
I haven't
say.
had dinner yet, so if that
Dedication.
makes you feel any better.
What was
there
on
we
the
go.
dessert menu?
I have no idea.
No.
I haven't brought it out yet.
John.
At least you don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
green jello.
Why don't you? Whatever it was, that's what it
Hey,
is.
there's always room for John.
Okay.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm thinking chocolate or pumpkin.
Okay, the next hearing, we're right at 7:30, so we're right back on time. 7:30, hearing on a notice of intent for Wingspan Properties. Is there a motion to open this hearing?
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Good evening.
Good evening. I want to go over where Scott was. My name's Jay Finley. I'm with Finley Engineering. I'm here on behalf of Wingspan Properties and Bill George, who's sitting in the front row here. What we're proposing, this is Lot 9 on Paul Revere Road, off of Barnes Street. We're proposing the construction of a single-family dwelling with a water supply well, associated subsurface sewage disposal system. What's here in green is the wetland delineation. Yellow line is the 100-foot buffer zone. You can see in this area here, this is the work that we're doing within the buffer zone, which is approximately 60% of the septic system and the associated breakout fill. We are proposing a line of staked hay bales and siltation control fence in this area. You can see the limited grading is right in here. The septic system is 62 feet from the wetland itself. The plan has been approved by Andy Pelletier at the Board of Health. And I guess at this point I would ask if you have any questions.
What's the nature of the wetland? Is it What's in there?
I have Ecotech's report. I don't know exactly. It's a wooded wetland, fairly flat in nature. You can see by the contours. It's gently sloping from Barnes Street into the project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it says it has 2 intermittent streams associated with the BBW,
Oh, okay.
but only a portion of your project is within the buffer zone.
That's right.
Yeah.
This portion right here. Yeah, like I say, approximately 60% of the leach field is in. The septic tank and distribution box are out, the house is out, the proposed driveway, the proposed well and water supply line are all outside the buffer zone.
Okay.
It's just this area
Just
here.
that field there.
Right.
So was that really the only place that the septic could go? I know
It is.
the septic and the well have to be 100 feet apart, right?
That's right. This is the 100-foot offset from the well.
Yeah.
We did soil testing in this area. It was satisfactory. We did one up here that we abandoned. It didn't look good, so there's not much movement in that direction. There's not much movement here. We've got a septic system in the back here. We've got an existing septic system here, so that kind of pushes the well to this location, which pushes the septic system back where we are.
Triangular and
Domino
everything.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Questions from the board? No? Okay.
Just a quick question. Is this a hammerhead lot?
It's not, I don't believe it's technically a hammerhead lot. It is kind of a strange shape. But the frontage is all developed on Paul Revere Drive. The frontage runs from this point here all the way down to Barnes Street. I think it was basically once the subdivision, once they came back around, they got some lot width here, and then just
I get your point.
kind of fell as it fell.
Okay. Well, looks pretty straightforward.
Okay. If there aren't any other questions, then, is there a motion?
I would move to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted. Is there another motion?
Sure.
Well, you know, we've been rolling along here, so.
I would move to issue our standard order conditions plus some of our special conditions.
Okay. I don't have my list with me, Lou.
I don't either.
Do you have your list?
I do.
Thank you. I don't have them memorized yet.
Yeah. Why not?
I had my list with me, but I
Did
think.
we add any when we did the bylaw?
No. I seem to have left part of my stuff at home, so.
Yeah, I gotta get some bylaws.
Thank you. Okay, I would move that we issue an order of conditions containing our standard conditions plus the following special conditions.
You probably need to read them so they
Yeah,
can.
I think so too. 1, there shall be no storage, maintenance, or refueling of construction equipment or other machinery within the 100-foot buffer zone and wetlands or the 200-foot riparian zone to perennial streams and rivers, which doesn't apply. 2, prior to a certificate of compliance being issued, the applicant should provide an as-built plan prepared by a professional engineer at the same scale as the plan submitted, filed with the notice of intent filing and as approved by the Conservation Commission. The as-built plan shall indicate the location of all structures within the 100-foot buffer zone, including all replicated wetland resource areas and their respective final grades. Of course, that doesn't apply. 3, a signed copy of this order of conditions as issued by the Conservation Commission shall be on site at all times. Also, individuals performing activity near or within areas under jurisdiction of the Wetlands Protection Act shall familiarize themselves with the conditions herein. 5, erosion and sediment control measures will be placed between the work area and the edge of the BVW. 8, this order of conditions shall be subject to each and every condition stated herein. The failure of the applicant to comply with any conditions herein shall invalidate the order of conditions, render it null and void, and subject the applicant to enforcement actions under the provisions of the Wetlands Protection Act. 9, there shall be no storage of snow within the 100-foot buffer zone of wetlands. This provision shall survive any issuance of this order of conditions with respect to the subject property. 11, there shall be no dumping of lawn clippings, yard waste, or other deleterious material in the wetland. This provision shall survive any issuance of a certificate of compliance with reference to the subject property. And I think that will do it.
Okay, that's the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted.
Very good. Do you want the green cards, or do you want me to
Yes,
hold the green
please.
cards?
for the file. That would be great.
Sign that?
To Sheila?
To Sheila, please.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Jay.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
evening.
Thanks,
Thank
Sheila.
you.
I'll probably have that
Good
ready
night.
tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Okay? Want me to call you?
Sure.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
You guys, 4 hearings in 25 minutes.
We need
Bang, bang,
a,
bang.
Zoom, zoom.
we need to sign another order of conditions.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. This is
Yeah, for the,
Sophia.
Yeah,
Herb Chambers.
for Herb Chambers.
Yeah,
I was not on for that, so.
we never talked about that.
That's Sophia.
That's Sophia.
What is this? Is
We
this Herb
just
Chambers?
decided.
Yeah, it's even done.
This is the one for Sophia Drive, right?
Yes.
This is Herb Chambers.
No, Sophia
No,
Drive.
that's Sophia Drive, one
Herb
Sophia.
Chambers
So you amend
coming,
the order,
we amend, yeah, we now we just need one for,
33
Oh,
applicants.
the amended
Do we
order
gotta-
of conditions, so he wasn't here for that.
Do we have to vote on that?
you weren't here, then you shouldn't sign it. Which, we voted already to issue, amend the order.
Okay.
So you just type
No,
up,
I'm
okay,
talking about 33 applicants.
that's why we're getting confused. Yeah, we need to vote on that.
Okay.
We need to reissue, they lost one of the orders of conditions before it was recorded, Herb Chambers, for the new project at 20
Right.
Prospect and 33 Appleton Road.
Is that two separate ones, or?
Yeah, there were two
Yes.
separate ones, they found one, they lost one.
They found 20
So
prospects.
anyways, you cannot record a photocopy of a document at the Registry of Deeds, you need original ink signatures. So anyways, we have to reissue the document with, original signatures so that they can record it.
Okay.
They're about ready to get started over there, so they need to get
So I
that done.
guess we better make it snappy.
Well, something like that. So obviously, the original signatures that were on it, Tom Fallon was on it, of course he's not here anymore. I can't remember who else was, I think,
All of us,
I'm
right?
sure I signed it.
yeah, I'm sure we all, I think the rest of us.
I have it here, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you like
You
to
have
see it?
a copy?
Yes, I
Well, yeah, and we
do.
need a signature page so we can sign.
Yeah.
She's got so
Here's the
much going.
signature
You
I
page.
know.
Which one's which?
got a lot of signatures tonight, huh?
You can
4,
see
5, 6.
Ann. No, that's about it, I can't make it.
Well, would it help to put the address on top of each one so that you're matching them?
Okay. There's Chuck.
All the
Sheila Lee,
signatures.
There's me.
Oh, I do it on the back.
There's Ann.
Yeah, I'm all set.
There's
That
Dan
was,
Reich.
there's-
So that
Wow, I've
one
never
you're
seen your
confused,
signature.
Sheila, and you've
I'm
already
not
done it.
confused.
It
Because
varies.
it always comes this way. Yeah. You should do it the other way at one time. and
Okay,
mess everyone
so
up.
I think that 5 of us can sign it.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a signature page?
Right
You do.
there.
Sometimes I sign as Mickey Mouse.
You do not.
Yeah, I kind of look like that.
Louise
Popeye.
Reich, Chuck, Ann, Dan Reich, and Tom.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you said?
No, more or less.
Kind of, sort of.
This is Tom's, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. That's
I think I called somebody else to sign something once and it was his.
This is about the only thing I use cursive for nowadays, other than signing checks, which I do more and more rarely.
Calligraphy on the side.
Well, it's like it's bad when you're going to write the capital, the uppercase letters, and you're like, how do I write a Q again? Oh, damn.
I typed out a sheet for that, I forgot.
So we have all of our decisions done, signatures already done.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Okay,
Didn't quite make it.
what? Oh.
I've got it on
So we're down to discussion miscellaneous and we got the bylaws.
Let me get my copy of the bylaws when we get there, okay? Because I don't have it right here and I want it.
Okay.
I don't
Take
have
my-
mine,
Yeah.
I left part of my stuff at home and that seems to be
I
one
actually
of the
did
things
And
I
I've
bring
left.
got
it
part
for
of
a
yours.
change.
Ian.
Pardon me?
I've got part of yours.
That's why I couldn't find it, because you had my,
She
okay.
had it.
I think Well, I asked Jill about this, and our agenda for the next meeting doesn't look that full.
Yep.
So hopefully we can all
Okay.
make a concerted effort to just finalize the minutes of the next meeting.
Yeah, I've been through them. I did speak to John Rockwood just for some comment, because he was involved. We used primarily the
Yeah.
Needham one,
Yep.
and of course he was involved with there. He does a lot of work up there. But one of the things that I'm concerned about that we need to take a look at is the additional fees associated with it. And he pointed out to me that the fees that we've used are Needham's fees. Fees typically along a 495 corridor, which tend to be high.
Sure, I mean, I think we can
So we may
revisit that.
need to adjust
Yeah,
those.
I was
And
gonna
and I
suggest
said
that
to him, the peer review also, we're still looking for peer reviews to be done, even with that second fee. But he said that that's what they do. And so, so I like the idea of a request for determination of applicability having a fee, because right now there isn't one.
Exactly.
But some of the other fees, like $150 to issue an extension permit, seems like a lot of money to me. But
Again, we can
just
if we have
we'll
the
discuss
discussion
it.
all
to
those.
Yeah,
change it.
we'll
That's the
discuss it.
main.
And he did tell me too that we need to have a public hearing on the regulations once we finish it,
Absolutely.
finalize it. We need to have a public hearing.
Now, in order to have a public hearing, does that mean we have to publish the regulations beforehand?
I should find that out, or if we have to just make them available
Probably-
Yeah, I
to the
think-
public, if people want to come in and see them ahead of time.
Yeah.
And come to the meeting and discuss it at the hearing, so,
Well, I mean, it's on our agenda, anyone
Right.
can come anytime, but,
absolutely, absolutely.
you know,
All right, so we're going to try to do that on, is it October 8th?
The 9th.
9th, okay.
okay.
Before we leave that subject, I would just caution you about fees. If you have any hope of ever getting some part-time assistance, you may want to consider that when you're setting your fees, because you're going to have to find a way to pay for this position. So
Right.
you're going to have to seriously look at whether you want someone part-time in the office who's got the training to go out and look at sites and give actual feedback. So that's something that you really need to think about.
And the thing with that too, when you think about it, if we had a qualified wetlands scientist specialist even here part-time, then our piece of it wouldn't have to go for peer review. If you had a staff person, a qualified
That's true.
staff
Save
person.
money in that.
Absolutely.
that way.
So that would kind of offset the cost to the applicant, because we would have a staff person that we'd be able to utilize for that.
Well, and you'd have to have a review fee too, because you're probably not going to make enough. You'd have to have a staff review fee or something in your fee structure to have them do that.
Right.
I mean, that to me is
But that's just something
something
that,
that you guys have always lacked, and I think it's something that the town, considering all of the resource areas we have and the sensitivity of the water supply, it really pays us to have somebody in place who's going to have the town's best interest, not, job per job, and going to look at the whole thing and be able to give the board some direction.
Yeah, and plus I like the idea of self-funding rather than having to take
Asking
money
for
all the time from
appropriation.
everybody.
I
Well,
know.
you'll still be taking money from people, it'll be directed, and that's,
Right, but there'd be
You mean
less of
not
a
from the
request in the
taxpayer?
budget.
Right, it
the
wouldn't be from
proponent.
every taxpayer because some
Right.
person wants to do something in a well.
Right.
I think that's, it's actually more,
yes.
And you'd essentially be funding the
All right.
position with user fees, really.
Fairer?
yes,
More fair?
I
Well, I
guess.
think it would be a good
Fairer.
thing to have somebody in staff, and I think the chair and vice chair at some point should sit with the manager and begin serious discussions, and probably the accountant, and see where we need to be in order to get that.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's something I've always wanted, and I'm talking about the current town manager. I haven't, brought it up over the years, but it's always been, we don't have any money. We don't have
Right,
any
there
money.
just haven't been the resources
So,
for it.
maybe this would be a mechanism of establishing fees so that we would be able to fund the position,
Exactly.
And even if it was somebody we only had part-time, or we shared with another community,
Yeah, I mean, 20 hours a week I think is probably
Right.
sufficient.
Exactly. So something we should work on.
19,
19
19?
hours?
no benefits.
Oh, right, under 20, no benefits.
19 then.
So wait a minute, if you work 19 here and you work 20 at Walmart, is that,
Yeah, but
No.
everybody's getting kicked to the feds on that now anyway, so.
Well, I don't think that you want to short-change yourself.
No.
20 hours, I know benefits I
Benefits
think,
kick in at night, at 20
Things are
hours.
changing.
I understand that, but I think the town does a detriment by trying to keep everything. I think you save, you lose.
You get worse people.
You lose, you actually lose more than you save by not having
Bottom
somebody
line.
Sure.
in a position. And you also restrict your talent pool, because some people do want to have a part-time job and they need benefits. And, you know, it can't be that much in the greater scheme of things.
Well, I think it's probably something to think about as we're looking at the fees. I mean, a health plan these days, especially a family plan, it's not a cheap deal.
No, it's not.
You know, so, but something to think about. I mean, right now, I don't know what the balance is in our filing fee account. It's pretty substantial. The other thing to think about too, before we make any final decisions, is these fees generated by the bylaw would go into the general fund.
Right.
And I'm not certain how we would access them
Right.
in that mechanism.
It wouldn't go into your revolving fund?
No.
Really?
Really? You
No.
can't
Yeah, you would
direct
want
it?
it to go to a separate.
I don't know. That's something I gotta find, because the revolving
Sound
account is
manager on
required by,
Make a
the
deal.
revolving account is required by 13140, the Wetlands Protection Act. The state mandates that you must have a revolving account in which to deposit the filing fees associated with the Wetlands Protection Act. And the Conservation Commission is to have direct access to the revolving account to pull out money as we need it.
Yeah.
Well, aren't these fees regarding the Wetlands
But
Protection
the way
Act?
the way the bylaw is written right now, it says that the fees are going into the general fund.
Well, I think we need to change that.
So I'm just pointing that out. When I was reading it, I'm like,
How did we miss that?
Interesting that Needham decided that would go into their general fund and not into the revolving account. We can
so
easily
maybe
change
we could
that.
contact Needham and find out how they're accessing those funds, you know? Because the general fund, I don't believe we would be able to have access to it unless it was appropriated to us
Yes.
You
from
know,
the general fund.
And those funds tend to disappear
The-
for
Yes.
other purposes.
That's exactly right. I mean, actually, the fix would be very easy. All you have to do is say funds will be held pursuant to the provisions of 131, Section 40.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If there's nothing allowing it or disallowing it, why, just make it easy. Just do that.
Right.
Just direct it to your revolving account and be done with it.
Okay. Well, we can move
So
on
anyways,
to-
just some things to think about. So we'll try to get that taken care of at the next meeting and be done. Be done with it. Okay, site visits. The National Grid issue, just to give you a quick update. I spoke to the project manager for National Grid this afternoon. Basically what I found out is that prior to them commencing work, they had a survey crew go in and survey the right-of-way or the easement for National Grid. And they staked it out as they normally do with stakes with the orange ribbon. And so then they had a tree company go through and they cut up to the limit of the staked out right-of-way. They did not go beyond their staked out areas. They do have a 250-foot wide easement. They're essentially done cutting in that area. There were a lot of wood chips left before that have since been cleaned up. There were apparently 2 tree cutting companies that they had come in there. There was some miscommunication between the two. So they have since gone in and removed the piles and piles of wood chips that had been left on site. There are a few still left because you can't pick up everything. But essentially it's gone. Those are gone. They have an independent inspector that comes once a week to go over everything to make sure that there aren't any issues with the progress of the work, to make sure there aren't any construction issues or anything else. They also have somebody else from VHB that goes out after every rain event to check the integrity of the erosion control measures and replaces them as necessary. But at this point, the cutting is done there. They've moved along on their project. Within a half an hour of me talking to the project manager, I got a phone call from VHB, which was the design engineering firm for them, wanting to make sure that there weren't any Conservation Commission issues. And so, anyways, I did speak to the person who had complained this evening, and his issue, I don't know, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought his issue primarily was the amount of tree cutting, and he said that they were cutting outside of the right-of-way. Now he's saying that the plan that Sheila gave them, the cutting depicted on the plan is different than the cutting that's in the field. So I suggested to him that perhaps he needs to speak with the engineering firm. So I got permission to give the VHB his telephone number so that the gentleman that called me can call him. Because I don't think it's not a conservation issue.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
it's a
that's
plan
good.
issue. You know, so anyways, hopefully that will take care of and address his concerns, I hope.
Good.
Once and for all. Okay, under enforcement orders, Reliant on Millbury Street, there's an attorney from Myrick Connell that had called me on this. They finally, through their facilities department, got it through to somebody that understands there's a problem. They have engaged an engineering firm, I forget the name of it at the moment, but they're using Ecotech to put together an engineered plan for this after the project is already done filing. They just couldn't get everything done with the engineering firm in order to file by today. So they expect next week that they will be submitting their notice of intent for that work that was done without a permit on Millbury Street. So that should be coming in shortly.
Okay.
We don't have on the agenda, so we can't take any votes on 510 Southbridge Street, unfortunately.
It's on, yeah. It's under enforcement orders.
It is? I didn't see it
Yeah.
on my agenda.
I didn't either.
I only
Oh,
saw
you know
one. Did you do another agenda?
I should have done another one, yeah. I did put it on, I'm sorry.
You did?
It is on and stamped. It
Okay.
is on, it's under enforcement orders.
All right, as long as it's on the town clerk's one, because it
Yeah,
wasn't on
it
the
is.
our one. All right. You probably all saw the emails in the last couple of days that Sheila had found that document from... I'm trying to think.
1999.
There it is.
Yes, from Bob Lucia at Wet Environmental. I had
Yes.
totally forgotten about him.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, that
Doesn't look like
indicated
that
that
anymore.
there were no jurisdictional wetlands within 100 feet. It was 150 feet or 160 feet away or something.
Then if that's the case, why did the
I don't
special
know.
permit say that they had to get permission from us?
I don't know. It said that they need to
Approval.
seek our approval.
It says approval must be obtained.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. They don't, we're supposed to, you know, they don't, I don't know why it says that. That was in 2008 that document was done. Bob Lucia's thing was from 1999.
No, I understand.
So I don't know why the ZBA said that, but I mean, that would be like us telling somebody to go get site plan approval from the planning board.
They actually came before us back in 08
No.
on this.
No.
Oh, okay.
They
No,
submit-
that
there was a filing with us in 1999.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
'cause
remember
I don't
it.
That
remember
was for
something
the
on this
Gateway
site
Computer
from
Store.
08.
Gateway. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Been there.
So,
If no one knows why, then I don't really see how we can hold them to anything. I mean, if we
well,
can't
they had a
demonstrate,
professional conservation wetlands
irrespective of
person
what's written.
that went out there in 99 and said that there was nothing within jurisdiction.
So I think we take that and we move on our way. I mean, I don't know why the ZBA did what it did, but it's, if we can't document anything,
Well, the
what are
thing
we
is, I
doing?
mean, if we have no jurisdiction, regardless of what the ZBA says,
Right, that's
to
my
me, it's
point.
like, you know, we don't tell somebody to go get a building permit.
I
you
don't
know.
think that was done in that,
It probably just was
in that
to,
vein, they
Right.
just probably
their
were
issue was
being
the
helpful.
aquifer, and they probably just wanted to make sure that we knew about the project, I suppose.
Exactly.
And I mean, when we
I
went to
think they
take
were
a
being
look,
helpful.
Mike, it's not like we had any red flags.
Oh,
that-
no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I just.
Yeah, it's odd.
It's a head scratcher, you know? And
Right.
especially because we did have a filing back in 99.
Right.
So, well, I don't know what the board wants to do about this. And I don't know if you just want to dissolve the enforcement order or how you want to proceed.
So we have the file from 99 that said.
We never found the file.
Okay.
She
Can't
found
find
a
the file.
piece of paper. Did you? I don't know if you didn't see your email,
I
but
didn't see
she
my
found a piece of paper in another file, not a
Okay.
conservation file.
Zoning
It was a
board.
copy of a letter
Okay.
from Wet Environmental.
Okay,
Document. There was a gentleman, a wetland scientist by the name of Robert Lucia,
okay.
and he had visited the site and documented that there were no jurisdictional wetlands on the site. They probably filed a request for determination. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the town clerk's office should have anything.
She's not going to have a copy of our file.
You won't have a copy of your file, but any decision you filed,
No, she wouldn't.
No.
you guys
no,
don't
they
file with
no.
them?
No,
No.
Really?
No.
and that was,
And then it was never
Maybe you
built.
should.
that was like a
When was the house back there
stormwater
taken
type
down, Mike?
report,
don't remember
hydrology
what-
report,
I
and I
remember there was a
found
house-
that
It was after,
information
it
in.
was
It was
after.
after certainly after 99.
Right.
That's what-
They
Maybe in the
mentioned,
past 5, 6
in that
years.
2008 filing, they mentioned the building being there. in
Okay,
that
so
2008
fairly
permit,
recent.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't that long ago the house was taken down. I mean, it was a while, but not.
There's a lot of changes and
Right.
I'll tell you what, I would move that we dissolve the enforcement order for 510 Southbridge Street, based on
Thank you, Shelley.
a report prepared by Wetlands and Environmental Testing, Inc., dated October 18, 1999.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. So we just need to notify them that the enforcement order has been lifted.
Okay.
Okay, pending business miscellaneous, I don't know if anybody has anything there. The Pappas rec site, I thought we were taking this off the agenda. 'Cause the only thing that's left
sorry.
the only thing that's left to do is get a certificate of compliance.
Yeah,
I think that actually
okay.
says that in the minutes. Is that, am I?
It was in the minutes.
Okay.
And should we be taking Kettlebrook off as well? Not carrying it?
Yeah, I think we should take that off.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
And Pappas, yes, I know we,
Okay.
Right, because the only thing that's left is a certificate of compliance.
Yep.
which is a fair option.
Right. Okay, so then we're down to the minutes.
The minutes. Everybody got a new set, right?
Yes.
I noticed the Davy Tree folks are working back over by Pappas again, or they are working back there. I guess they just went into the next phase of the project, so they're surveying some additional areas on Packagug Hill.
Was this
Really?
the Asian Longhorn
Yeah.
project?
They haven't discovered any new ones, have they?
Oh, I didn't have a real conversation with my former colleagues.
Well, does anybody have any issues with the July 23rd minutes?
God, I hope not.
Well, then I will make a motion that we
Have these
accept
been-
them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been over and over and over.
I would,
Oh, okay.
I would move that we approve the meeting minutes for July 23, 2013.
I already did.
Although, actually, I can't make that motion because I wasn't
You
here.
weren't
Uh-oh.
here.
Oh.
And the only other thing is that the planning board appointments are by the town manager, not the board of selectmen. I think you said John Weaver was, I don't know why we've got planning board stuff in here, but anyway.
Maybe we
Okay,
should-
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Abstain, sorry. Chuck and Michael, right?
Yep.
Does anybody have anything on August 14th?
Oh, I'm out of order here.
Charles is not here.
Nope, I was okay with that one.
I'll make a motion, we approve them as submitted.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions?
Who
Abstain.
seconded that? I'm sorry.
I did.
Okay.
Okay.
How about August 28th?
Chuck's abstaining.
I can't vote on these because I was absent. Rotating cast.
You have a blank here. Or at least on mine. You
Yeah, the
okay.
blank there.
I could not understand what that word was.
Well, wouldn't it be the Wetlands
Regulations.
Protection Act
I
or
don't
what,
know.
regulations
Yeah,
or
it
something
sounded
like
like it was
that?
one
Indicated
short
that
word and I...
this
Regs?
from
The wetland regs?
and does not fall under- How about well in jurisdiction?
That's not a short word.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It was probably regs, but which would we like to put in there?
I think
Let's
jurisdiction.
just jurisdiction. I'll make a motion with that addition that we accept the August 28th, 13 minutes.
I'll second.
I will abstain.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention? Right. Have a day.
9/11. Anybody have any corrections, omissions?
Omissions?
No, I actually was all right with them too.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion that we accept the September 11, 13 minutes as submitted.
Is there a second? Discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention?
I abstain.
Abstaining.
Hallelujah.
Ooh, I never thought we were supposed to go
If
there.
there's nothing else, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second on that motion?
There was one other thing before we.
I had
um,
miscellaneous there, you didn't say anything.
Nah. There's a section of fence at the corner of the mall parking area where we previously have had an issue with sand being pushed through the fence. The section of fence is missing, so I'm concerned that when the winter comes, the same thing will happen again. So
Where specifically, Dan?
This is, what is it? This is Macy's, that's the corner. And basically
You mean the end?
near the
Brotherton-
corner towards the highway.
Brotherton and Auburn Street. Brotherton and Auburn.
Is it the Macy Home Goods store or the Macy's department store?
Oh, that's.
Well, which is the one at the end of the building?
That would be the home
That's the
goods.
home goods
Yeah,
store.
the home-
So it's basically, if you go, take the corner of the building, go kind of diagonally back towards the fence, there's a missing section of fence, and we've seen them push sand through the fence.
It's near the brook.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've seen that happen before, so I have a feeling that could happen again if that fence isn't
We
replaced.
should send the water down.
Pushing sand through it?
Well, when in the winter they
No.
push the snow and the sand back through it,
The
and
only
that may be
problem
what's
is
happening
It's not on
again.
the agenda, so we can't take a vote.
Okay, so we'll
can
put
put
it
it on
on the agenda
for
for the
next
next
time.
Okay.
Okay.
It won't be winter that soon.
Auburn Mall
No.
fence issue.
I'm ready for fall.
That's it.
All
Couple
right, so
months.
does,
Okay, that's enough.
Dan, did you want to reassert that motion?
I will make the motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Wow.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you very much.
Not too sure.